The situation in Germany is becoming increasingly serious. I have to say it that way. What the parties have come up with now is an absolute attack, not just on democracy. But now they want to simply destroy an opposition party, just like in Turkey. A little baby who is drowning and calling for help because they realize they're out of moves. People just don't believe these lies anymore. If you want to support this channel, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. What we're seeing right now in England is that the police are already backing down from their own citizens because they no longer know how to act. The same thing will probably happen in Germany as well. I give us a few more months, then there will be an absolute uprising here.
Near the crime scene in Southampton, the police are retreating from an angry mob for whom apparently all police officers have become targets. Since the Henry Nowak case, also due to the release of the body cam footage from the night of his death, has become a police scandal with national significance.
People in Europe have had enough. And they've had enough of the fact that people who commit crimes, who are repeat offenders and only cause harm, keep getting preferential treatment. Now it has come to the point that even in England, the police are already retreating. At the same time, I expect something like this to happen here in Germany as well. In Germany, it has now happened that Heidi Reichneck has called for the party congress to prevent the AfD by initiating mass demonstrations, specifically through Antifa. That means once again destroying an opposition party. In Saxony-Anhalt, it has now come to the point where people who just hang up election posters or help out in any way with the elections have to undergo a firearms law background check. They may no longer be able to get a hunting license in Germany. Everything is leading to that. And it all comes down to trying to bring a bit of stability here in Germany by using methods that have already failed to deal with such unrest. And that's exactly what we're seeing worldwide right now, that the whole system is completely collapsing.
I saw the body cam footage and it makes me sick. The Independent Police Oversight Agency needs to look into this. Serious questions arise, such as how accusations of racism influence the decisions of those involved in the case.
But these are exactly the questions Germany is also asking itself. Here, however, it's not accusations of racism, but among other things, the Chancellor is being called a liar. And, well, you first get a 2,000 euro fine, that's 30 daily rates because you insulted a politician and he has the principle of sovereignty. At the same time, it keeps happening that, for example, the Office for the Protection of the Constitution goes ahead and classifies the AfD somewhere as right-wing extremist. But when you ask why all this is happening, you don't even get any information about it anymore. So dictatorship par excellence, that's what we're seeing here in Europe right now. And people, they're not even stopped anymore from somehow still believing this nonsense that's being served up to us every day. If you hang up a German flag somewhere, I think I should get one for my office too. Let me know in the comments. If you suggest getting a German flag for the office, I think that's cool. Then we have to expect that basically state security will investigate us. There are now reports about this, that while about 60 people were being monitored 10 years ago, today it has come to this. And now get this, that over 1,500 people are being monitored by the Office for the Protection of the Constitution because they write things on the internet, because they simply forward posts, because they share things that the people currently in power simply, and we really have to say it like this, no longer like. So that the people in power don't even have to intervene anymore, and the public prosecutors are already investigating on their own, even though the offended person doesn't even know about it. What kind of sick system are we actually living in nowadays? And you can apply that to all of Europe right now. Even in the Netherlands, people are starting to rise up more and more. We saw it in Ireland, where people simply don't want this kind of politics anymore. I've reported on this several times already.
According to a Forza survey, the sister parties are only at 21%. The AfD is clearly the strongest party with 27%. The SPD is at 12%.
Roughly speaking, that's 36%, only 36% support left for this government. You would now need the Greens, the Social Democrats, and the Christian Democrats together just to form a secure majority in the German Bundestag. The discussions keep coming up. As I briefly mentioned again in my video this morning, all other heads of government also had a dip in the polls at the beginning, and a chancellor who basically only talks about the unwieldy ship that is Germany, which might eventually get back on course, but not even in this legislative period. And for exactly this reason, for example, Saskia Esken and many others have joined forces and said that they urgently want to ban the AfD before the next elections. And yes, what did the courts say about that? Among others, Cologne, it's impossible to ban this party before the next elections, the AfD. The courts simply can't handle it anymore. The courts and the prosecutors are so overloaded that this will have to wait. And now they're getting ready to strike. That's what I meant from the beginning. They're squirming like a little baby that's about to drown, and now they're basically pulling out all the stops. If you want to support the AfD in the future, even just during the election campaign, then they will ruin you and your family. That's the impression you got from the context from Apollo News. They will set everything in motion because you definitely shouldn't be thinking for yourself anymore. To consider that the governing parties only have one thing on their minds, and I already mentioned that this morning, how they can squeeze the most tax money out of you, and how they can plant the fairy tale of hate and incitement in your mind.
Support paid out for the Ukrainian refugees. He expressed his gratitude for it, but he also advocated for thinking more about how we can give more people back to the Ukrainians in that sense. So how can we make sure that not too many people leave Ukraine? There's a demographic problem in Ukraine. So even in Ukraine, there are thoughtful discussions about this. That's what I want to say.
And that's exactly what makes people so afraid when you start sending Ukrainians back now, whether I like it or not, whether they're here, whether I say, okay, they need to be checked, how much money they're bringing with them. Is it true that conscientious objectors have a human right? They are recognized under the Geneva Refugee Convention. Whether we like it or whether we get upset about it or not, it doesn't matter. They have a right to live. If the CDU breaks that now, well, then the poll numbers will drop because many people here in Germany will start to reconsider one thing, namely, what happens if Russia actually attacks us? Do I also have to go to the front, or do I have to flee this country in a hurry? And the next question I have to ask myself is, where can I actually go? In the European countries, I would be sent back because actually I just need to cross the Dutch border and I would be safe, since the Netherlands are not allowed to draft me as long as we don't have a European army. That would then be irrelevant. And yes, I have to tell you, it's actually a tribute to history what's happening here right now, because more and more people are thinking about exactly these things. And so, as not to ruin your day so much, I have something funny that I'd like to show you. Feel free to listen to it.
Fuck AFD. Did you read it too, like during our tour? Fuck AFD. Dear Anti-Fankin, I have to disappoint you. No AFD member wants to fuck with you.
Wait, fair warning. Now comes a statement with criminal law implications. I have to give you a quick heads up. Maybe I don't fully stand behind this, but I want to invoke quotation rights here. You know what I mean?
No AFD member wants to fuck with you. You'll have to do that among yourselves. And what comes out of that? Well, you can see for yourself. Probably because the previous generation has already read and heard that, yes, that your parents were mostly siblings. When I look closely at some of those faces, ladies and gentlemen, it almost seems like the family pets were involved too.
I distance myself from any animals that might have a nose ring or something like that. I distance myself from these statements 100%, but he is a bit poetic, I have to admit. And that's exactly why, yes, because we reach these people, or because one reaches these people, because we reach these people, yes, they try to make life difficult for us. We are the bad guys. We are the people who are supposedly bringing Germany to the brink. I noticed it again yesterday. Project 1 million. I said that I am a party member, and at that moment I was kicked out of the groups I still supported. Project 1 million is going to Berlin. It's cross-party. I just had to tell you, but that's exactly how things are here in Germany. If you have 3 letters yes and you try to enlighten people, then you get silenced because nobody wants you here. So apparently nobody wants me.